headphones. Hello and welcome to episode 28 of the Digital Quill Podcast, which is co-hosted with a guest today. Your name again?
I think my name was Nathan. Something like that.
I think that's what we assigned you. Yeah.
I believe that was the one thrown out into the ether.
Yeah.
How's it going, interwebs? Welcome to the Digital Quill Media Podcast. Bum, 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 dum, dum, dum. Where's your jingle?
I don't have one yet. Can you believe that? I was actually thinking of that listening to one of my favorite podcasts today. Because it was like, you're watching, why not? You're watching No Filter with Zach Peter, and I was sitting there listening to it because it's always at the beginning, and this is like the first time I was actually sitting, actually listening. I was like, oh yeah, didn't my roommate mention once about something intro related? And I'm like, yeah, I think I've reached the point where I might need to come up with my own little thing.
Theme?
Yeah.
Jingle?
Yeah.
Song-a-doodle?
Yeah.
I was a fan of Kanzenshu, the podcast. Dragon Ball hat.
I
not a nerd at all, I swear.
I almost feel like I want different ones because I also have guest episodes. So like I kind of want like guest episode ones.
Or you've had musicians, maybe, a clip or two of the song or something here or there might be fun.
That would be cool, but something tells me on some of the songs I'll get a copyright with YouTube.
Well, could try. Who knows?
Speaking of my favorite podcast, it is one that I did not start watching until I caught wind of something we're actually going to talk about today. And this is kind of out of my realm on a lot of levels because it goes into some territory that I'm not necessarily a fan of, but it does touch on themes of things that I do care about. So we're kind of just going to jump into it, but there'll be a few different parts to this. It's going to be kind of like my first-ish series. There was a different series we were going to cover, but this one took an interesting turn just this month alone.
This one is pretty relevant now.
I don't think I can wait to like cover this because one, I'm sitting on the edge of my, excuse my language, my fucking seat, because this is so disgusting to me.
Ridiculous now.
It's disgusting as shit, dude. Like, oh my God, I can't. Everything about this is like why I want to learn how not to be emotional so in the future I can cover more journalistic pieces in like a professional manner. But like, this is good practice, and also like it's a
starter piece on some current events that are ongoing and will be
for the next at least the next year, because trial is in March 2026.
It's everyone's gonna be talking about it, so you might as well start now.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a bunch of other shit's gonna keep coming out before the trial even comes.
My plan is to only really have 4 major parts with maybe a bonus 5 part, because I don't want to cover this every week or every day like some of the podcasts I follow and some of the creators I follow on YouTube. Like,
there is probably that much content's worth of it.
Yep.
And I don't know if there'd be, enough weekly or even monthly news that's going to happen until then.
Also, I just don't want to sink my whole teeth into this cake.
Yeah.
Sink my whole faith.
Then it'd be a whole drama grab kind of thing.
And honestly, I may be trying to come after Hollywood just a little bit with this, but really it's more about the corruption and control and greed and power and stupid bullshit that shouldn't exist, because why can't we just be people helping people?
It seems so simple, doesn't it?
The lack of humanity is just amazing.
People just like to screw over other people for their own benefit, I guess. At the end of the day,
we're kind of dancing around it, or I'm dancing around a little bit, but that's kind of like my thing, I guess. Anyway, Let's just kind of start at the very beginning, which is a very good place to start. I have kind of talked a little bit about it here and there in stories and on my social medias. I'm sure you maybe have seen my TikTok where I'm angry. That video has like 900 views now. I'm still a little scared. Please send help.
Help.
Help me.
Help her. Help her.
But back in, I want to say early 2023, maybe late 2023, I was reading the book It Ends With Us. And when I heard that it was going to come out with a movie, I was like, dope. A book I just recently finished is now getting a movie. Of course I'm going to go see it opening day. So I get to quote a joke that I kind of love turning into a joke now because it was really disgusting when it happened. I grabbed my florals and I went with my friends to go watch this movie. But it's way more of a serious movie than just grabbing my florals and going with my friends, because this movie tackled subjects around domestic violence. And this book that helped so many women feel heard and seen, like, got turned into a movie. So a lot of us were like, yay, like, we have an outlet of a place that's like,
yeah.
To put it simply, I don't know how to say that this book got under my skin. I fell in love with it, so I fell in love with the movie too because I wanted to go see it. I fell in love with the movie before I went and even saw it. Like, the fact that it existed, I was like, yes, book, movie, yay.
It's always nice to hear when you know a book you like is finally getting its movie adaptation.
And you like just finished it. It's even more exciting because it's like fresh
quick
memory.
Quick turnaround.
I like read.
Some get announced and never happened.
I like read the book or reread the book again in like a matter of days just so I could see it and like see the movie. And I saw it and I thought it was really good, but I also felt like not really knowing like who everyone was yet. And I'm kind of sorry I know as much as I do about everybody now. But here I am. I know a lot. I don't want to know this much. But that's what happens with research. Lots and lots of research and exposure. But I didn't know who these people were, and I kind of felt like the actress who played Lily was a little off, and I was like, that's okay. Like, maybe like it is an uncomfortable role, like you are trying to play the role of a domestic violence victim, like a woman being abused by her husband. So like, like there are moments you're allowed to slip up because that's fine. It's a job. It's hard to do sometimes. Whatever. I was letting it slide, but then some buzz started happening and I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. Hollywood's being Hollywood. And then around Christmas time, December, I get an article because I'm always reading articles and stuff like psychology, like Hollywood, like all kinds of stuff. You should see the stuff I bookmark and my history. It's kind of interesting. And I see an article in my thing that I was about to say, but I read it, like the title of it, and it says, "It ends with us director being sued," or something like that. And I'm like, what? I just saw this movie. What do you mean? What's going on now? So I click on it and I start reading, and I'm like, what?
Oh boy.
Interesting. And it wasn't like that big of a thing yet, but I was kind of paying attention because I was like, I like this movie. This movie now has a scandal behind it. What the heck's going on? Because that's not the message. We should be talking about we should be talking about the message behind the movie.
Yeah, and now the message is
being convoluted by fucking drama and bullshit. So yeah, I'm paying attention now.
And it's over similar subjects of what the actual suit is about.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my god,
the accusation
what now?
Above the subject matter is the subject matter, and it's of the main actor director of the movie. So it's like,
who chose to write it? So it's like, what's going on here?
Would the main actor director of the movie adapting this book for good causes and good reasons actually self-sabotage himself in this manner?
With so many people around, because this wasn't exactly like a 3 people set. There were a lot of people involved.
It was a Hollywood movie, but $25 million background. I mean, that's not chump change. it's not like Marvel movie freaking budget, of course, or anything even half that, but still. And it's sorry, I'm looking at the stuff about the book right now.
It's fine. The book was published, I believe, 2016?
Yes.
The movie started getting, like... It was, if I remember correctly, it was Justin Baldoni who approached Colleen Hoover and her publishers to create the script about the movie. And she didn't really want to do it because of how closely related to the book and its story, like its original story, you know, like with her mom, like that story. Like every writer has their what is it called? Their inspiration for writing stuff. So like she's too close to it, so she didn't want to write the movie script, which is understandable. Yeah. Like sometimes I feel like
would you write the script for the movie for your book?
Yeah. Like no, I wouldn't. I would prefer, like, as an author and like soon to be author, like I would prefer actual movie script writers write the script. Like maybe they like show it to me and I could be like, could you maybe change that? But you kind of have to like
the Toriyama approval and edit.
Yeah.
Sign off on this, change this bit.
But maybe. I mean, I'm not too picky because I like kind of letting art be free art.
Very true. But you'd tell him if it would suck, right?
Absolutely. I would not be silent about that. I wouldn't be like, wow, this is great. I'd be like, I have some questions. Why did you do that? I actually do that to like every like director, like any piece that's directed or produced, even if it's like supposed to be good, I'm kind of just sitting there critiquing it in the back of my mind. Film study in high school ruined me. But yeah, I believe it was actually the director, the person tied up in this mess. And I know it seems like I'm leaning toward more on Justin's side, but truthfully, like what I'm actually leaning toward is like, why is corruption and control and power and greed and everything else so...
I didn't know how much the budget was for how much people got paid on the movie. Someone got 10 times as much as the person doing 2 roles. 10 times.
Wow, that's an expensive actress. Interesting.
That's what, like 12% of the budget?
I'm not a numbers person, but those numbers looked bigger by a lot. I wrote my reason for doing these episodes, and while you're looking that up, I'm just going to read it out loud because it's my written language sometimes far exceeds my verbal language, which is why if it's a really intense subject, I sometimes ask to write my thoughts out first and just read from those, because I write like I speak sometimes.
I guessed it, 12% of the budget.
That's awesome. I mean, you kind of have to be fair. She did have her wardrobe shipped to her.
Yep. A lot of extra expenses being thrown around and looped around, and I know you know the example that you told me, but yeah, getting all that wardrobe shipped out extra, various things that could cost the premiere and whatnot. But I guess that wouldn't be a movie budget, but just lots of things.
I know you were able to do the math faster than I was able to read this. Sorry.
It's okay.
While I may lean more toward Justin, what I really am here for is to show my side of the corruption, throw myself into the ring just a little. I really, I still don't know how I started following this. Like, I had to think about that before starting this episode, because I was like, how did I? And then I remembered, I was like, oh shit, that's right. I found an article. That's how I found this. That's how I found any of the articles.
The initial lawsuit.
Yeah. The
initial allegation.
I am now so far deep in this that I can't remember how I started. But I mean, I did, but like...
It's a lot. It's a lot to take in, because I've heard parts and pieces, and I know it's been ongoing.
Since at least, like, between August and December, but it really snowballed, like, December 20th.
Right.
5 days before Christmas. That's a little strange, if you ask me.
Perfect timing to get, all your litigations tied up in the courts, because no one's there. It's the holidays. Everyone's off.
And there were so many alarm bells going off on both sides for me at the beginning, and then at some point the scale started to tip, and I'll just keep reading this. Somehow I started following this. It started painting some pictures with the more I asked and looked into source, videos, public opinions, and have yet to see anything that doesn't point these people that are pretty much attacking Baldoni and like killing his career and his ability to speak and his ability to exist. Like,
yeah, it's
humanity is kind of lost on this one.
Powerful people pushing around a small and upcoming person who sounds like he's just trying to get by and be a family man and do what he does. But at the same time, sure that accusations could be valid, but truth remains to be seen fully.
I have stated it before. I do want to believe all women, but we have seen before that not everybody can tell the truth, and some people do lie under oath, which is unfortunate. And I have actually met people who have lied under oath. I mean, my biological father was one of those, so I can't really trust people. I wish you could. I wish you could.
It's hard to find the ones that you possibly can, because even just the nice looking stranger that you're trying to help out could come back a week later and stab you in the back. You never know.
When I say corrupt, I mean without humanity, with power and wealth that abuse it, with backgrounds that are haphazard and sketchy. Something's up. Something's definitely up. Something with A-list actors, people with a lot of money, politicians, money, and just a disgusting need. This disgusting fucking need for greed. I can't take this anymore, so I need to talk about it. People are hurting because of this. Kids are involved, and I'm sick of it, Hollywood. So the reason I say kids are involved, and another reason why I'm actually kind of like fired up about this, is I wanted to kind of drop this. Like, I wanted to like just pay attention as a bystander and be like, oh hey, like Hollywood's doing weird, sketchy, creepy, dumb shit like it always does. If money's involved, weird shit's happening.
Sounds like the same old.
And then I like hear a clip that a couple of my podcasts were talking about, and then I went to go find it like elsewhere, because I hate just listening to the same things I listen to all the time. Like, I try to outsource my like outreach, because like,
yeah, you gotta
stay curious and also
see
open.
What more opinions are all saying, especially take a look at some of the ones gaining traction that maybe you didn't
Your
know
levels.
About. Oh.
Yeah.
There I am. Well,
but so I showed you that clip, right? The one of Reynolds and I think his director guy, or someone who worked on the Deadpool versus Wolverine movie with him.
Yeah, should we look up his name real quick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we should. They were talking about, pretty much bragging about how they made his 7 or 8-year-old daughter at the time, Inez, repeat the lines, when I want your opinion, I'll take Wolverines, out of your mouth, because I don't really want to say that word here. But since I can't censor that, and I think YouTube might have a problem.
I think you get a pass after like the first 5 or 10 minutes on YouTube, something like that. I think.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Like, you can swear whatever as much as you want after the first 5 or 10 minutes or so, I think. I've seen other YouTubers potentially do it or talk about it, so they just wait or try to hold off for the first 10 minutes. It was either, Tim Miller or Sean Levy. So Sean Levy was the screenplay director, directed by, where's Tim Miller? I don't.
Try to find the clip.
Yeah, Sean Levy. Let's see.
Try to find the clip of Ryan Reynolds and whomsoever speaking on the Inez thing. If we find it, we could link it in the description of the episode so the viewers can go listen to that and also be disgusted by Hollywood. And before anyone says like, oh, it's just actors, she didn't want to do it. She didn't want to do the role initially or say the lines until he was like, well, I'll just go find another actress then. And then she was like, wait, I'll do it. And to me, after, knowing how some people are with their kids, wow.
Even worse, it's on the commentary track for the physical release, like the Blu-ray. And it's, the director Sean Levy. And they were joking that she had to repeat it 70 to 500 times on set. Why?
They have 70 to 500 takes of her saying it, is what it is.
That's...
And I just have a weird...
own the Blu-ray, but
a weird question. Why do you need that many of a child saying that? That just kind of raises some questions to me. Especially giving things like the Diddy files.
Sean said it to Ryan. I'm shitting you not. 70 to 500 versions of that line.
Yeah, I'm going to pay for that later, Ryan said. Yeah, I hope...
He knew.
He did know, and that's like the other thing that makes it disgusting, because he's like, he knew as soon as he was talking about it, making her do this, that he was going to pay for it later. And I again, what kind of father allows that to happen? And then I also learned that Lively worked on that movie too.
Yep, and she was Lady Deadpool. And
I have to ask, what kind of mother would allow that to be done? Like, that, I really do have that question, because I don't have kids yet. So I'm not sure if I have a dog in the fight on that one. But she's married to Reynolds, right? And that would technically be her daughter. Is Inez Blake Lively's biological daughter?
I think so. If not, the baby that they were talking about was in there too, as the baby freaking Deadpool.
I just need to know what kind of parents would allow that kind of profanity or allow that kind of emotional manipulation on their 7 or 8-year-old daughter in Hollywood. I mean, I know, again, that's probably the key word here, in Hollywood, but doesn't make it right.
Yes, Inez is Lively's kid too.
So that's
Blake and Ryan.
That's their biological daughter together.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, then
Indeed.
I definitely have that question for the mother. Why did you feel comfortable allowing your daughter to be coerced like that into saying a line about a phallic object on a person that
Yeah, there's how do you even explain it to your child what they're saying on camera in the costume or not or whatever in the movie? It's a little too much.
But to also know that she didn't want to say that.
Yep. It's why? Just someone's having a laugh and it's not the daughter.
The 7 to 8-year-old me who wanted to protect kids from losing their purity like I did is screaming at me about that. And that's why I got reinvested into this case, because when that came out, I was like, okay, it's time to start paying attention to everything again. And here we are, very first part of June, and the $400 million lawsuit that Baldoni placed against Reynolds or not Reynolds, but Lively.
Yeah.
I'm not up on the legal stuff yet. I need to give myself time to learn about that.
There's
So by the next time we come back. But
started to it, but seeing just the ins and out of how it's working and why is pretty frustrating. The main thing being the judge, of course.
Being kind of connected.
It was the judge's brother is connected to Reynolds' businesses.
Mint Mobile being one of them.
Yeah. And then just, and it's all just being over money. She's trying to get a payday out of Baldoni. Once this movie made money after being a $25 million budget movie and going, over $300 million? So somehow now she wants $400 million, was it?
I guess. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's so convoluted, and plus the countersuit now. It's getting, well, I mean, obviously should countersuit if it's all false claims, but like, don't y'all have enough money in Hollywood? Y'all are middle class. You all know that, right? Hollywood A-listers. You're not billionaires. You are the middle class, upper middle class, sure, but there are people above you, and I'm sure that they're helping you pull strings and get even richer and all that because of all these companies that Ryan Reynolds is invested in. I'm sure whoever's running it are some of the billionaires, like besides just all the sports teams and the Mint Mobile and his film production. There's just what was it? His investments that he has money in, so shares. Part shareholder owner or whatever of just weird stuff. Fubo TV, not so weird. That one's more sports. But then Wealth Simple, a Canadian online investment management company. Nuve, some I forget what that one was. Something similar, a payment processing company. And then 1Password, a password management system for businesses. So I'm like, it's literally investing in controlling money. It's a lot of webs of who knows, maybe it's just money beyond our simple-minded peasant understanding, or it's just too much to pull strings and get what you want through the court system and legality Hollywood nonsense. Take down whoever you want because you can pull your weight around because you control the strings.
With great power comes great responsibility, and when you have this much money and this much pull in Hollywood, I just have a couple of questions for Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. If it really wasn't about money, if this wasn't about taking someone down for the sake of money, for the sake of movie rights, for the sake of whatever, involving more power, more greed, more money, more whatever, if this really was about women's rights and having women allowed, or helping women be heard and be seen and stuff like this as victims, is this really the way to go about it? Is this really the way to go about it when you have organizations like the No More Foundation? I have questions for you. Some really big, important ones, and I really wish you could answer those to me, but I know you wouldn't. So, as a victim of sexual H and sexual A myself, I'm not happy with Hollywood. And you're in Hollywood. And I kind of have to take the other person's side in this, if there was a side to take that wasn't just the attack of corruption and control. Kind of sick of Hugh controlling people in the narrative.
Yeah. And it's maybe I was a little wrong. Their two combined net worth makes them about $1 billion. So they're still pretty high up there for Hollywood A-listers, I would say. Because, yeah.
Are they on the Diddy files? I have questions there.
I don't want to Google that.
I don't either. And we won't. We'll let other internet sleuths take care of that one.
Yeah, if y'all want to let us know in the comments below.
Do your own research too.
Yeah.
Don't just take our words for it. This gets interesting.
It's just sometimes you got to take a stand, say your opinion on something, and put it out there that you should stand up against this kind of shit and just it's sad because it's almost like you feel kind of powerless because you don't have millions and billions to toss around and say what you need to say and tell the message that you need to tell.
Big on that one. Very big on that one. Oh, hey, the No More Foundation.
Oh, hey, look. It's dedicated to increasing awareness. They're trying to spread the message and suddenly, become the suspect of one. Why? I don't think that's don't add up.
Eventually we'll have to pull up information about what the lawyers on each side are saying. But the trial goes to trial in March 2026.
Yep. There is plenty of time for it all to be broken down and laid out, and probably know how it goes before it even gets there. If it doesn't get thrown out before then.
The first episode's probably going to fall under the line of more celebrity gossip, but on probably the second or third, we'll probably try to dive into the more legality and like legal jargon of it all, the stuff that actually matters when it comes to corruption and control.
Try to simplify it in some kind of manner, maybe, because it needs to be simplified, I say.
Yep.
And if anything, just to get a better grasp on it all and why and what. But
the other things that kind of raised my awareness or like my red flags about what was going on was the differences in marketing the movie. Earlier I made the joke, I grabbed my friends and wore my florals. Justin Baldoni has a podcast called the Man Enough Podcast, and I've listened to a couple of episodes, not extensively, not with like a lot of intent, but I have had them on in the background when I'm doing chores, and the vibe and the like information I've gotten from like reviews and interviews about the Man Enough Podcast is completely different. That's kind of a sidestep, but from like how Baldoni versus Lively kind of like marketed the movie, but he was talking about the message behind domestic violence and how you could donate to the No More Foundation and other stuff like that. Lively was talking about her hair products and tearing the new one of reporters over baby bumps and other stuff. That's an interesting thing to look into. I don't know if you've seen those interviews yet.
No. Maybe
it's interesting.
Something about
it paints an interesting perspective about the person, about Lively.
But also just promoting it as a
happy girl pop movie.
Girl pop, yeah.
It's not. It's a very serious movie.
Not even acknowledging what it's supposed to be about and for. And then
it's for women. It's for women who have been through domestic violence. It is women who are going through domestic violence. It's so that they don't feel alone, so that they feel heard, because it's a very alienating thing to go through. And I know women personally who have gone through it, and it's hard to listen to. Not like in a like I can't listen to this, but like it breaks my fucking heart. And this movie is so fucking important to me, and the way that it has been turned into this stupid fucking shit.
It's an 80-page initial complaint from December 20th.
I just need to know, like, why wasn't it filed sooner? Like, were there any HR complaints? Was she talking about this with her friends and family, like, during it going on? Was it just between her and Ryan Reynolds? Which, by the way, the Baldoni team and the Reynolds team, or the Lively team, I use them kind of what's the word?
Interspersed.
Something like that. I use them sparingly. All right, I use them interchangeably. Something.
That one.
Words.
That one.
Anyway.
That one.
I use them interchangeably, and the Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds names, and what was I saying? God damn it. Lost the plot. I lost the plot.
It's a lot. It is a lot. But
Trying
so
to correct
far,
my words.
just the evidence and so-called smear campaign is also a big part of it now, and it's who's smearing who, and it's like, come on. So far, it doesn't seem like there's one side that has actual solid evidence, just claims thereof. Meanwhile, everything on one side has been provided
some
almost in
things
full.
that both of them have been providing. The Baldoni and Lively sides each have released text messages between respective parties. You can actually find a website that I should probably link in the description of a full correspondence of from the Baldoni side. His legal team, I believe Brian Friedman, released that. Could you actually see about looking that up?
Brian Friedman.
Look up Brian Friedman, Justin Baldoni text website. And then send that to my email.
Okay. I shall find it. And it will be...
It's probably in my history somewhere. I have looked over so many of these fucking cases. Like, I kind of want to get a tally count of how many tabs I've had open just in my history list over the last year about this movie and about this case. It's probably a lot. I didn't want to get invested in Hollywood scandals, but I'm here now.
TheLawsuitInfo.com.
I used to really like Deadpool too, and now I can't stand the idea of the Deadpool movie because there's a lot of weird shit involving Nice Pool.
Oh my god, that's a whole rabbit hole.
Ooh, I love that Nice Pool gets shot in front of a flower shop. That's interesting.
What was it, Lily's Florals or whatever? It was, yeah, Lily, the character from the movie.
Lily's Blooms.
Yeah, there you go. Like, okay, here it is. Lawsuit info, timeline of relevant events.
Yes, it's
14 megabyte PDF. Jesus.
They've added to it. I think I've had it downloaded on my computer. Or
so many of the jokes of Nice Pool are just weird and awkward now because it's like, oh, they're just straight up inserting Baldoni as this character, and they had a different idea where it was just going to be a buffer, nicer looking Deadpool, or like just a goofy. But now they had to go and throw in weird shit and in-jokes and subtleties that go, hey, that joke didn't really make sense and now it makes weird sense.
Hugh Jackman was in on it.
And yeah, he went with it. Like, come on, Jackman. you really? I don't get it. Yeah.
I think his name is Brendan Skelnar. He was someone who played alongside Baldoni and Lively in It Ends With Us movie. He...
Look at this. There is 168 pages of evidence that they have provided on this website on just one PDF.
There was also the taping that where Justin was mic'd and they were filming that slow dance scene. There was that. There's just been so
March 24, Baldoni texts with his editors. You can they literally put everything there.
Emojis and all.
I think just certain names that aren't relevant or legally engaged are edited out, because it always just seems like it's a name or someone sent something to suit so-and-so. It's the only thing that is crossed out.
The thing that kind of disgusts me the most is there's a text message where Justin reached out to Ryan and he wanted to be friends because Blake had reached out in a similar kind of fashion to Justin's wife, and it got so ugly so fast with some of the needs, or the demands rather, that Ryan and Blake were asking for, which is actually kind of tying into the wardrobe thing.
And what I just landed on is how she was like, let's see. She's was, I don't know, freaking out and said was shut down or something because they're trying to get a hold of the editor because they're having her approval to edits on the movie. So, and now they're saying, let's see, coming into editorial as of now is conditional on this phone call. And they need to hear the feedback and this and that. Like, she wanted way more control over the movie. She wanted more money for it. She was trying to make it into her own, like, vehicle project, and she was already the highest paid star on it, taking in $3 million, whereas Baldoni himself, as the second, took in $320 million.
What I see is a man trying to protect his family and himself from losing everything he has. I don't see a predator. I don't see an offender. I see someone who's been trying to work on himself over the years and trying to help other people do the same thing. I don't really see that in the Reynolds and the Livelies of Hollywood.
Yeah, they're just kind of all about the ha-ha, he-he, it's
just
all joke.
Some food for thought.
Money. And it's... Oh.
This will not be the last time we cover this, and I'm actually getting to the point where my emotions are going to spill over my everything more than they have, because just so much. And I also don't know how much more I can add about the evidence I've ungathered and have seen other, like, internet sleuths and other content creators gather, and...
There is so much on... Alright, I gotta see how big this other PDF is. Because that was the second one I clicked on.
But we will get to a point where we're going to wrap up this episode, because unless you have anything you want to, like, talk about for the next 10, 15.
I'm just also tired of just seeing blatant corruption out in the open, because there's so much of it now. No one gives a shit anymore. They're just like, now that some of the worst has come out, it's like, oh, we can just kind of do whatever we want now because it's not as bad as this other thing. You know, literally everyone is going, any press is good press, and it's still promoting them in some way and keeping them going, and they're probably making money off of the press. It's all looping around, and everyone's invested into each other and funneling the money back and forth while we all scrape by. Why? Why, oh why? There's
also the idea that now that we have, like,
224 page is the initial amended complaint or something. Good Lord.
Interesting. But
that's quite a bit.
It's interesting to me that now we have the ability to see things in real time like this, like see what's being said, see what's being lied about, see what's more authentic than not, and even make our own judgments and opinions. And I think the important thing that we need to be doing is actually talking about it, not taking sides.
Talk about it, deduce what's real, what's not, determine who actually is telling the truth.
And also, just remove the corruption and control. One building block at a time.
We gotta limit somehow, or just not have so much involved to where everything can just end up in a Ponzi scheme, which is, what was that, Nuve? Certain individuals are involved in Ponzi schemes or something that, I don't know. It's too crazy. It's too much. Y'all have too much money.
Yes, they do.
And you can do too much with too much money, because why can't you just get a house for like a couple million and then, be good? Just pay your bills for the rest of your life.
Do the math on Justin Baldoni's net worth versus Blake and Lively's, both together and separately.
Let's see.
And also tell the people what he made respectively to play Ryle in his movie versus...
Let's see.
What the hell?
Baldoni is currently only worth $6 million.
That went down then versus when I looked it up.
The combined 400 some each of Lively and Reynolds to be about $1 billion. And yeah, that's
His net worth went down then from when I looked it up, because when the lawsuit, the counter lawsuit on his side came out in January after hers, and December her complaint, I looked at their net worth because I was like, follow the money, always follow the money. So I did. And I'm like, what? Wow, that's a staggering amount compared to him. That's interesting. Why would he do something so horrible against people who could bury him? Another weird thing. Unless this was about gaining more money and control and power.
Yeah, I don't know where they're expecting to get $400 million out of this guy who's only worth $600 million. Oh, they're not combined. Okay. Blake Lively's net worth is $30 million. So their total is estimated to be about $400 million. And then, what was that? The budget on It Ends With Us. It Ends With Us cast budget.
It must be mid-afternoon.
Well, I know Lively got $3 million to play Lily, right? $3 million out of the budget of $25 million. Where's the list? Baldoni took in, what was it? $320 million. I'm pretty sure I remember it saying. Here we go. Cast salary.
I'm actually surprised that this case made it national. Now that I'm like neck deep in it, I'm not as surprised. But at the beginning, I didn't think it would make it that far. I thought it would get dropped.
Let's see. Brandon Sklenar. 300,000. Yeah, Justin Baldoni 320,000. So right there, she made more than the rest of the cast, basically.
She made $3 million in that movie.
Jenny Slate 250,000. Hassan Minaj 110,000. Amy Morton 80,000. Isabella Ferrer 85,000. And Alex Newstetter 60,000.
Again, expensive actress.
Small budget, and someone wanted a good chunk. Over a fifth, or no, over a tenth.
I also find it equally interesting that Justin was pressured into doing the acting as Ryle. He didn't want to. He just wanted to be like the director because it was kind of what his role was.
Yes, but they said that he was like the most fit because he knew the character better or whatever. He could play the character.
I guess.
Yeah.
I think that was a Colleen Hoover decision.
Oh. So then now, even being in the role that he didn't wanted, he is now in this position. Cool.
I also like how they stuck him in a basement on the movie premiere instead of just having two separate premieres or like two separate locations. They just
instead of having him at the premiere, they'll just have him under the premiere. Yeah. Him and his family all dressed up nice for a nice movie premiere, just sitting on water crates and pallets, wooden pallets.
That's fun.
In a basement. Could they see the movie? Was that a screen behind them?
I think so.
Like. Insanity. Hollywood insanity. Y'all ask for way too much. Way too much.
Wayfarer Studios isn't even a thing anymore, I don't think.
No.
I think they announced their closure or whatever.
Probably to start paying for lawyers. Wayfarer Production is...
look up news. To close as legal.
There we go. Wait. Oh, May 6th. Okay. 1 month ago. Yep. Is shutting down, announced. Because of the ongoing legal battle. So, anything that you might have wanted to see by Wayfarer.
There's some people who want to cherry pick details amongst how, like, his co-host on the Man Enough podcast, I believe her name is Liz Plank. Did you want to double check that for me just in case I'm getting that wrong?
Yeah.
Quit the podcast because of the scandal and drama involving Baldoni being a issue.
Because of the potential subject matter.
But it's funny because it's funny because the podcast hasn't had an episode since October 2024. She didn't quit until, I think, look at that up. I think it was earlier this year, like January, February, she quit. Don't quote me on that, though, until we look that up.
Let's see. Why did... December? Or no, that was the original complaint.
Yeah, the complaint was in December.
Oh, when did Liz? I can't type. Blank.
That's
Quit.
same.
Man,
I can't speak also, so it's fine.
Oh no, she did stop in December 2024, following the lawsuit filed.
So that was like a week or two after the lawsuit then.
But yeah, and then you said that they hadn't even had an episode since October?
Nope. So that was kind of like a why quit now?
Yeah.
Then if you
weren't even doing anything anyway.
Why announce your
you quit nothing.
Departure? That was a kind of a red flag. I was interested in that. I feel like that's a thing.
It was just taking a side is what that was.
Yeah, there's been a lot of that lately. Side taking in ways that is maybe totally valid, probably. I hope.
Sometimes. But at the end of the day, it is about who is telling that truth.
Mm-hmm. Or is closer to the truth than that.
Right.
I don't know if I can speak another 52 minutes on this.
Nope, we're good. Any
final points? What's your name again?
I think my name is Nathan.
I think that's what we assigned you.
Did I write it down? No, I never learned how to write or read.
That's kind of a problem to work on these shows, you know. I might have to look into different help.
It just comes to me. Anything that's... I don't know. No final points.
Same. I mean, probably, but for a different day. This was episode 28 of the Digital Quill Podcast, where we talked about the Justin Baldoni versus Blake Lively bullshit that we're going to cover in special episodes coming up in the future as part of a series, like a 4.5 part series as this continues on. I'll see you guys again with more information later on in the future,
where we will focus and dive in on certain aspects and subjects, I'm sure.
And hopefully I somehow can get other people who are more involved in this than I am, because...
Yeah, if you could get a guest to talk about some of this. Any of y'all...
Any lawyers?
Legal eagles out there.
Anybody.
Someone who wants to go, hey, this is this, and here's what's happening, and why it's kind of something to focus in on and look at and go, what's wrong there?
All right. Well... Thank you guys for tuning in today. I hope I taught, inspired, motivated, or entertained you on some level. Especially entertained you, because what's life without a little bit of entertainment? Stay weird, stay curious, always keep going. We'll see you next time.
And don't forget to take a deep, big breath. Exhale. And we are out.
Goodbye.
Have a good day.